What's up everyone, welcome to the channel. This is kind of an impromptu video. Decided to make this. I got a shout out this morning from 2016 RT. You can see his channel is up on my computer right now, and thanks again for the shout out. I had no idea that everybody was going to enjoy my under the hood video. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, you should go check it out and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. But in the conversation on the video that he posted today, you know, Ryan at Riding in Style mentioned that, you know, since I have a Hellcat, that I'm driving everybody's dream car. I know that the Mopar community, that I've been watching a lot of the channels and the videos. You know, it seems like the majority of the community is, you know, RTs or Scat Packs or 392s, and I don't know how many other, you know, Hellcat owners, you know, are in the general community. But you know, it's got me thinking about, you know, the car itself and the ownership and stuff, and so I want this to be fairly quick, but God, I talk too much, so who the hell knows whether that's going to happen. But anyway, my getting into the Hellcat was, I had a very interesting set of circumstances happen that allowed me to get it. The biggest one being my in-laws are Florida snowbirds. So they basically allowed my wife and I to move into their house, you know, to basically take care of the house for the, you know, 9 months that they're in Florida. You know, they leave in September and come back in May or sometimes June. So they're here for sometimes 3 to 4 months out of the year. So they let us move in, and so at that point, you know, I basically got rid of $1,800 a month in mortgage payments. So that's really, you know, the reason why I have the Hellcat. The other reason was there was no way I could afford a Hellcat to buy it outright. So at the time in May of 2017, when I got the car, Chrysler was offering an awesome lease program. Later in 2017, they stopped the leases on the 2016s, and they were doing leases on 2017s. But you know, it got me thinking, you know, what's going on with Dodge right now? So I went to the Dodge website, and let me close that for a second. So I configured basically my exact car. Let's see here. So we have the Go Mango exterior. Of course, the color, or the pictures never do this color justice. It is a pain in the ass to try to get that color to reproduce correctly in a video or a picture. So the motor, transmission's all standard. Convenience group was actually an add-on, but it didn't cost anything. Harman Kardon, so you see the stereo is $2,000. The brass monkey wheels was an extra $1,000. Summer tires, all season tires are standard. Wait a minute, that's not Laguna leather. That's not correct. I don't think the sepia. Actually, maybe the sepia is the Laguna leather because it's the sepia color. Anyway, so that's the same interior. The Uconnect with navigation. Again, that's a standard thing. So I do have a sunroof, so that's $2,000 for that. Oh wow, they charged me $30 for a cargo net. Love that. So anyway, you can see $8,000 in add-ons, but you can see, I think at the top, so the final price, I don't know if it's going to show up. So let's see. Hold on a second. So you can see the final price up there with the computer screen. Doesn't get all jacked up. So about $75,000, and that's pretty much what the sticker price. I think the dealer had marked it down a little bit because it was a 2016, and they were already you know, making 2017s at the time in May of when I got mine. So the thing I really wanted to point out was, you know, so that's the car. But when you look at what's available right now from Dodge, you know, I was actually quite surprised. So let's see if I can move the camera to make this a little bit better. Hopefully the goofiness of the screen doesn't kind of come into play here. So you can see that if you try to buy this outright, you are going to pay a pretty beefy payment. But you know, if leasing doesn't scare you and you don't have any plans to mod the car, and I mean, you know, part of the discussion on 2016 RT's video talked about modding and then that kind of stuff. So I mean, if you're not planning on modding, and you know the 707 horsepower doesn't get too old to you by the end of 3 years, leasing right now, these things are leasing like for really cheap. I mean, $532 a month. I mean, I don't know what your payments are now. I mean, $532 a month to somebody, that could be still pretty hefty. I don't know. But I can tell you that my 2014 Charger, when I bought it, and I was actually paying for that car, I was buying that car. When I got that car, my payment was $527 a month. So when I went in and found out I could lease a Hellcat, my lease is actually $667 a month. When I found out I could lease a Hellcat for $667 a month, it became a no-brainer at that point. But anyway, so you can see that the lease price is, you know, $532. Now this does involve a pretty hefty down payment, you know, $7,400 down. Again, depending on how long you're in your car, or you're into your car, you know, you might have some equity in your car, so maybe you can get some equity from a trade-in perspective. You know, the lease is a 36-month lease. I leased my car. I actually did a 15,000 mile lease, because I told the dealer, I'm like, I'm not buying this car to have it sit in a garage. I'm driving the hell out of this thing. So if you change it to a 15,000 mile lease, you can see the payment goes up to $594, which again, still in the grand scheme of things for a Hellcat, $594 is not that bad. You know, if you drop your down payment down, let's say to $5,000, you know, let's see here. All right, maybe it won't change. So $661. So I actually put $8,000 down on my car. So I mean, for right now, for a 2018 Charger Hellcat with $5,000 down, 15,000 miles a year, your payment's $661. So ultimately, your payment would still be less than mine, and you're getting a brand new 2018 versus a 2016. You know, if you change your lease term, I don't know, you know, how much this changes it. It actually goes up because your residual is different and all that other stuff. So 36 months, a 36-month lease seems to be the sweet spot. So again, like I said, 15,000 miles, 5,000 down, $661. So you know, I just wanted to make this real quick. You know, it kind of got me thinking. You know, Ryan's comment on that video kind of got me thinking. You know, I wonder what Dodge is doing right now. I don't know how long these lease offers are going to last. My guess is because, you know, it's kind of the winter, you know, still, you know, spring will be coming up soon, and I'm assuming that, you know, this is probably Dodge's way of trying to move these types of cars in the slow months. You know, like I said, in 2017, when I got mine, it was a 2016. And within 3 months of me getting my lease deal, they were no longer leasing the 2016s. They had to be the 2017s. And I mean, if you really want to buy one, if you search and you find a 2016 or a 2017 leftover, you know, I don't know how much you guys know about the Hellcats, but, you know, in 2015 when Dodge released them, they couldn't keep them in stock. I mean, they were getting allocations, and the dealers, you know, they couldn't sell them because they didn't get enough allocations, and Dodge didn't prepare for the amount of demand they were getting. So in 2015, if you were lucky to get a Hellcat, I mean, that was it. You were just lucky to get a Hellcat. So what they did was they ramped up production in 2016, and they ended up making so many of them that they ended up sitting on lots. I mean, the local dealership that I got my car at in May of 2017, in October of 2017, they still had another Charger Hellcat and 3 Challenger Hellcats sitting on the lot, all 2016s. So if you're willing to do the search and potentially travel and that kind of stuff, you may be able to actually find a 2016 or a 2017 Hellcat, brand new, never been titled, sitting at a dealership, and they might be willing to make a deal, and you might be able to actually purchase it as opposed to lease it. So just wanted to, you know, kind of talk to you guys and let you guys know, you know, that if a Hellcat is something that you really want, you know, it is possible. You know, again, I had a very specific circumstance. You know, I no mortgage. I get that that's not an option for a lot of people, and And so, you know, I get it, but, you know, I wanted to point out that, you know, right now leases apparently are doing pretty good on Hellcats from the perspective of pricing. Of course, you do have some ancillary expenses you got to consider. You know, you have to use 93 octane or, you know, high, you know, the premium gas in the car. Can't use anything lower. Well, you probably could, but it would probably run like shit, and who knows whether it would actually end up jacking something up. That and insurance. But my insurance actually worked out better, but that's a whole different video. The video I did on my Smart Ride insurance with Nationwide. So in the end, you know, I made out. I got a car that was had twice the amount of power as my RT, for only $140 more a month, and my insurance went down. So to me, it, you know, like I said earlier, it kind of became a no-brainer. So sorry for the length of this. I kind of rambled on a little bit, but I just wanted to kind of point out to everybody that, you know, if you really want a Hellcat, and depending on your situation, you know, and if you aren't, you know, scared of leases or whatever, you know, look at leases. I mean, it's you know, it's a perfectly viable option. And right now, apparently, Chrysler's offering them at a pretty good payment amount. So that's what I wanted to say, and thanks for watching, and sorry for rambling on.